بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us extreme fadl and grace and mercy with time and given us countless of opportunities to actually amend ourselves and rectify ourselves so that we may become of those people who are successful. Yet still we don't avail these opportunities. And sometimes we fall foul in really seizing the moments and the blessed opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, the life of this world, the time that is given us, to really truly attain the purpose in which He has sent us here for on the face of this earth. Where, as you even Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar and the Mashayikh, they described that when you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when a person disobeys, when he sins, as this is how Shaykh Ibn Atullah Secondary Rahimullah, what he has said is that when you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your faith is like the eclipsed sun. When the sun becomes eclipsed, so imagine the solar eclipse that we face, that we see. When it becomes eclipsed, you can see the sun all of a sudden something comes in front of it and it's gushed out, blackened out the light. You're in darkness. So what he's saying is that Iman is like this, where it's like the eclipsed sun, or which is the faith is like this illuminating light, roshni, this light which is illuminating like the sun. And then what happens when you sin is like a blockage appears and it's darkened out the light. Or it's like a lamp that is covered with a plate. So you have a lamp and you actually cover it with a plate, where you have, if I have this light here and I put a covering there, it's blocked out the light. In other words, the light of faith is blocked due to being covered with sins. And that's what happens, is that when we do sin, we don't see it as such. From the diagrams that we have seen, we've seen a little dot of darkness, a block of darkness. Look how they're trying to exemplify, and how also the Mashayikh, as I actually said, is that Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar also said, is that the Iman really, whenever you commit a sin, you don't actually do it in the state of Iman. Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar said is that whenever you commit a sin, is the Iman actually comes out and it hangs above you like an umbrella. That's why whenever we discuss that, okay, fuqaha, the related, this is kaba'ir, this is saghair, etc., of sins, this is a big sin, or this is a small sin, a minor sin. Sin is sin. Sin is disobedience. So as the Mashayikh, wise words of the Mashayikh is that don't look at sins as being big or small. Many of you have heard or saying this as well, is that don't look at sins as being big or small, but rather see it that it's the command of Allah that I am breaking. Don't see sins as being big or small, like we've categorized sin as this is kaba'ir. Yes, there are different ahkams or different rulings, but this is kabira, this is saghira. Reality is a sin is disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we think that, for example, you say the reason why this person is being punished because he has broken the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You've heard this, Master Shaykh Ahmad Abagh has said this many times, is that do not think that you are breaking the command of Allah, so that really the command of Allah ta'ala can never be broken. Know this, the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can never be broken, rather you will be broken. You will be broken, because that is why He's put the ahkam there. That is why He's put the ruling there, is to safeguard us, me and you. But if we go beyond the hudud, the boundaries which Allah has set, Are you breaking that boundary? No, you are going over the boundary. You are exceeding it. Is that there's a safe zone area and there's a danger area. Now, oh look, I have just gone into the danger area. I have broken the command. No, you haven't. The command is still there. The hukum is still there. What's happened is that now you've entered the dangered area and only you will be destroyed. So understand this is sin is a sin. So like Sayyidina Abu Zubair said, is that to the nearest effect? Is that when a person commits a sin, it is as though, and it's as though the sin is like hanging over him, hovering over him like an umbrella. It's like hovering over him like an umbrella, and the danger is, if that's why we say is that you don't commit sin in the state of iman, is that the iman is just hovering like an umbrella. What if this is a minor sin or a major sin, doesn't matter, it's a sin. What if this was the moment, what if this was the time that Allah said that that's it, his iman, and that take him away now from the face of this earth, angel of death comes? Where is the iman now? Where is it gone? Hence why one should always be fearful that don't start being, oh this is mine, I'll do it, or this is major, I better refrain. Yes, initially try and develop that, but really you should be, if a person is indulging in sin like myself, is that we should try to, yes, we look at what is the major, try to eradicate that. Then we should look at the minor, try to eradicate that as well. We should endeavor to eradicate, but never accept in your head that minor or major or minor is okay. You are doing it, but think in your heart that this is not okay, this is wrong. And that leads, what will that lead to is also felicity and success as well in one sense, is that one day you will also be free from it. Unless, if you now say, oh, okay, this is a sin, oh no, this is okay. Danger. It's a danger. So you got to now have to accept the fact that, okay, this is a minor sin, I shouldn't be doing it, I should refrain. If I'm doing it, do tawbah. And ask Allah for help and guidance to actually refrain from it in future. So what happens is, Sayyidina Abu Zubair and also Ibn Atala, they're saying is that, so iman is like a light and it's like the sun, and then what happens is like a solar eclipse happens where a person commits a sin, an eclipse happens where it's blocked by the light. That's how it's like. So what happens to the earth when the light is blocked? It's in what? Darkness. Is there anybody, tell me, and you will know, in your heart of your hearts, you will know anybody, really, even those people who are druggies, alcoholics, who are fornicators, adulterers, whatever they are, when they are committing that sin, really reality is this false perception they're enjoying, but really it's not enjoyment. What happens after that sin? It's just regret, torment, and literally darkness, hollowness, emptiness, full of sorrow maybe, regret, bewilderment. There is no, okay, the temporal enjoyment which will last for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or the ecstasy, the buzz that you get of having that alcohol or the drug or whatever it is, that pill, it'll last you what? Half an hour, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But as soon as that goes, there's only darkness and depression. And what do you expect? If Allah if this example, the example that Mashaykh are giving is that if an eclipse happens and you can see, because this is why the Mashaykh do, and also this is Sunnah Allah, he uses analogies and allegories and metaphors so that you can understand. So if the face of the earth, when the solar eclipse happens, it goes in darkness, what do you think you will be if you start committing sin? If the similitude is like that of the sun on earth, you'll be in darkness. So it's not that, no wonder people are saying, oh, those people especially who are committing sin, not you people but myself and others, that yes, we're saying and we don't feel motivated, we don't like to pray. This word of we don't feel like, we don't want to, we think we should do this and that. There's no energy in us. There's lethargy. There's laziness. There's delay. Why? Is due to the darkness. This is the effect of darkness, the effect of sin, which has had effect on the person. Now what happens is, not the analogy you can take it, if you prolong that, is that, do plantation grow in darkness? Do plants grow? Do they? No, they don't grow. They need what? Light. So here is another thing for you to understand, is that you are trying to grow the plant of good deeds. So you may be doing good deeds. So you put the seed there. You're doing good deed. You're doing good deed. But you're sinning. You're in darkness. 1 minute you expose it to light, next minute you expose it to darkness, and then you say, but I'm praying. I am praying. I don't get it. Why is my prayer not having effect? I'm keeping fast. Why is my fast not having effect? I'm going to gatherings. Why are they not having effect? This is the reason why. Is because, and that's why it's so pivotal. No matter, even though this is an ascension gathering where basically you come to practice ascension, we always hark you back. We always remind you the importance of the 5 amals that we say that you have to do. Importance of actually the part of tazkiyah that you have to do. The significance of tazkiyah, because you cannot abandon that. There is no, they can't really say is that you may have a very unfortunate, you'll give yourself a false perception, because if you are committing sin day and night and you're not actually attempting to rectify yourself, you're just fooling yourself. This is at the forefront, should be at the forefront of your mind, is that this, accompanying with this, it has to go. Otherwise, eventually your unveilings will start actually, if you're seeing things of the unseen world, eventually, slowly, the darkness will overcome you. And the blockage will start. So basically, is that another way of seeing it, for those of you whose eyes have been opened, is that it's like a window, and what will happen is that the sins will start covering that window, and then eventually, oh dear, I cannot see anything anymore. Why? It's because you've abandoned the thing that we said. For example, the fazl, that lesson that I had of opening that, or the door of opening that has happened, occurred, if you persist in sinning again and again, and then you become lazy, and not rectifying, and not doing tawbah, there's a great chance that it could be actually blocked up again. And sometimes it doesn't open up again as well. That's not just from fright or anything like this, but it can happen as a consequence of not being grateful to what has actually been given to you. So you are trying to plant the seeds of good deeds, and they're not growing, they're not going to fruition. Why? It's because you're in darkness. So let there be light. Try to refrain from sin. Do tawbah. The effect of tawbah is basically is removing that blockage. That's what it is. You know there's blockages there, do tawbah, instantly that goes away. The blockage goes straight away. Hence why the Prophet ﷺ, what they were saying is that whenever you commit a sin, replace that instantly with a good act. Substitute it. To the effect, they said that substitute that with a good act. If you commit a sin, do a good act straight away, to compensate, to eradicate, to nullify the sin that was actually committed. So that's why here, alayhi rahmat, they said is that this is the effect of sin. They said is that if you attend the gathering in the masajids, in the zawiyats and others, if you attend the gathering of nasiha and zikr, to expand your mind, to expand your heart, to make you realize the reality and purpose of life. If you attend the gathering in these places, even your life is short, what will happen is that the faith expands. And what is this is that, for example, when you felt it when you go to gatherings on a Monday gatherings like today, and other gatherings, or you go to jummah, you heard the khutbah, you go to a seminar, and what happens is that you feel the motivation, the zeal and the want to practice comes all of a sudden, it kicks in. And this is the effect of that. That's what Imam Sahib is saying, is that Imam is saying is that your faith is stretched, expands, And then what happens is that your realization comes, what your purpose is. Sometimes what happens is that you become humble, humility comes. Sometimes what happens, the zeal comes, the eagerness comes. Sometimes what happens is that you try to become more subservient and more servitude comes in you. Sometimes what happens is you want to be more steadfast and so on and so on. Different effects comes within you from different gatherings. You start to ponder, you start to reflect. Something that you haven't been doing. And this is why it's so, just aside, is that it's so regretful that on a Friday that we miss the khutbah. Especially for those brothers and sisters, especially brothers and sisters, is that they have no other alternative really. They don't listen to anything. Whole week they don't actually ever listen to anything, go to any gathering, nor do they read any books, nor are they actually, but the one opportunity they had to reconnect with them, with the deen, with the message of the deen, with the reminding of the deen, was that Friday khutbah. And if on that Friday khutbah they are missing, and they miss the khutbah, then what have they had to actually reinvigorate their iman and faith? To give them that motivation, to encourage them, to warn them, to reawaken them. What they got is gone. So that's why the Friday khutbah is very pivotal in society. It should be one of the pivotal gatherings, but we tend to actually miss it. We just try to get for the Allahu Akbar and that's it. And we're really happy if we get that. Otherwise we have to think, where can we get the Jummah another place? So what happens is the faith becomes stretched when you go to this gathering. If you had realized true faith, you would not have approached disobedience. If you knew the reality of faith, you would not go anywhere near disobeying and sin. Now this is important. There is no debater more procrastinating than the nafs. Basically, these 3 points which I'm going to now talk about is that there is no debater. Who is a debater? Who argues with you, isn't it? Gives you reasoning. You have an argument and he has an argument. Okay, whose dalil is stronger? Who's more powerful? Okay, who can win the battle? Now what Imam Sahib is saying, Imam Ibn Al-Sakandar Shaykh Ibn Al-Sakandar Rahmullah, what they have said here is that, one of our mashayikh, they have said is that there is no debater more procrastinating than the nafs. Why? It's because the nafs delays you from repenting and desisting from committing sins. What happens? Do tawbah. Oh, no, but he did wrong to me. Go and apologize. No, why should I apologize? Isn't it? Or you know you did something wrong. Your conscience is telling you, look, this wasn't right what you just did. No, but it's okay. He's done this to me before. It's basically, I owed him one. Or you shouldn't do this. No, it's fine. So it keeps on stopping you. You want to repent. There's many times that you, the spirit, you want to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to repent. But the debater the nafs is saying, no, you can't be doing that. What are you? And then he gives you argument. Remember 1965 he did this, and remember in 2003 he did this and she did that. Remember when you asked for help they never helped you. Remember when you actually wanted something they never gave you. Remember that person didn't help you. Remember that person didn't give you a lift. All these things the dalil start presenting, and then you think, yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, that's true. So it's convincing you, it's delaying you. But then maybe the conscience overwhelms and the spirit wins and says, no, I should do this, is wrong, I should do tawbah. So there is no debater more procrastinating than the nafs. So he's the debater. He argues. That is what we're doing. Sometimes, a lot of times, what happens, we're debating with the nafs, and unfortunately we lose. We lose. And you think that, what is Brother Qais saying here is that there'll come times when you're literally talking to your nafs, and you should see a duality. You should see this duality, because you are not the nafs. I, myself, and me are three titles given to the nafs. Whoever speaks I, myself, and me is talking about the nafs. Okay? I didn't like this, I didn't like that. Myself and me. This is just nafsaniyat. So here is that basically is a different, you are the spirit. You are the spirit. This is why we've got the beginning. Who are you? You're not this body. Who are we then? We're the spirit. Yes? Acknowledge the fact that we're the spirit. And then if these things, for example, if it's about food, are you the spirit that needs this physical food? No. It's the nafs. It's the body. It's craving. It's the craving of the flesh. Is the spirit desiring sexual intimacy? No, it's the body. All this is the shahawat and the desires, anything which is of the world is for the body. How the spirit benefits is the thing of the heavens. Zikr, tilawat, prayer, muraqba. These are its food. This is what it craves for. This is what it wants. But we're giving it food. What we're doing is that imagine, many times we've used this analogy, is that how the soul craves for food and is dying for food, we don't give. But we're giving food and ammunition to the nafs and to the body. What happens? There's a kebab feed. Yes, it's very good, mashallah, very healthy kebab. Oh, there's a big langar there, go and eat that, mashallah, that's very good. Oh, I want some chapati now, I'll have some chapati, there you go. Oh, there's a nice dessert there, there's some sweet desserts there, mashallah. I'll have some tea. Oh, you need some sleep, I'll give you sleep, plenty of sleep. You need rest, I'll give you. This is all the body. What does it now? Imagine if you didn't give the body the food, for example, you're hungry now, or you're gonna go home now, don't have breakfast. You think something's not right here. I need to have some food. Where's my breakfast? Breakfast's not there. Then lunchtime comes, you don't give it lunch. The body starts saying, "Hey, what's going on?" The nurse saying, "Hey, what's going on? Where's my food?" Come home from work. Food's not there. Now you are like, on the verge of dying, saying, "Oh my God, I'm starving. There's nothing there." You're craving. You're looking like a madman, looking for, is there anything there I can have? Chocolate, a crisp, or a drink, something just to quench the hunger, make that shaking go away because you're dying for food. Not literally dying, but the hunger pangs have come for you to do something. You're shaking. Nighttime comes, still no food. You now, all you think, okay, there's no food. What's the best way? Okay, the best way I can do is just go to sleep and not think about it. You lie down. You're lying down as if you're going to die. That's the state of the body when we've not had food for 24 hours. But do you not feel the pangs of the spirit? The jerk of the spirit, the shaking of the spirit, the cry of the spirit, but we're not praying, but we're not doing dhikr. It is also doing this. It is crying out for you to do something. It is crying out and saying, "Take me to the gathering." It is crying out to take me to the hands of my shaykh. It is crying out and saying, "Do the dhikr." It can cry out at any moment. It's not that, okay, I have to be in a state of prayer, that's it's going to. No, it's crying out any moment. Then and then it can click and you'll be in tears. That's the spirit crying. You could be sinning and it's crying. It's the spirit crying. It realizes, what are you doing to me? The spirit saying, what are you doing to me? Oh, Nafs, what are you doing to me? You're indulging yourself in this and that. And I want this. So there's a conflict, there's a fight. And that is what's happening. So it is not that these desires of this world, you're only filling, as I say, bigging up the nafs and the physical body, but when are you going to start bigging up the spirit? When are you going to start pumping the spirit, filling the spirit with ruhani food and ruhani dhikr and ruhani muraqba, where it can start actually making you fight shaitan and nafs and actually take you to other higher levels of proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's no debater more procrastinating than the nafs. Number two, no enemy greater than the devil. Important. Why I say this is important and why the Mashayikh has said this is that no enemy greater. Our enemy is not our brother. Our enemy is not our friend. Our enemy is not our wife. Our enemy is not our children. Our enemy is not our parents. It's the devil. Make it clear. It's not the neighbor. It's not John or Fred or Tom. Or if you're into your football, not Jose or anybody like this. But it's actually the devil. Okay? It's the devil. Why I say this? As I recited to you, is that Inna lakum adu, he's a clear and open enemy. And what's happening is that if you cannot recognize who your enemy is, then you're in disaster land. If you cannot see where the attack is coming from, if you cannot see that you are now befriending your enemy and you are making your friend your enemy, this is disaster. Yes, shaitan can come in different forms and he can use different people to actually attack you, but realize that's why we say is that differentiate between the person and the act of the person. Sometimes you know, have you not heard, that was pure shaitanic, that was, wasn't it? Have you not heard brothers and sisters say this? That was pure shaitan, that was pure devil. You shouldn't say things like that, but what they're saying is the act. That was a devilish act. That's a heinous act. That's a crime. You've seen this, you've heard people say, even people are attesting to the fact that a person would not do that, but it's actually from the devil. In other words, yes, the person you're seeing, yes, he's actually performing it, that's his act, but the person inside, like the spirit might be saying, hey, what are you doing to me? That's why we differentiate between the person and the act. Hate the sin, not the sinner. So there is no enemy greater than the devil. So don't start becoming fall with your neighbors, everybody, etc., etc. The other thing that I want you to also do is try to forgive yourself. Your enemy is not your nafs either as well, to a certain extent. Forgive yourself. Many times, yes, the nafs has tempted you and has made you go do this, you've overcome it, etc. We forgive people when they come and say, brother, forgive me, and say, yeah, it's okay, we'll forgive you. Your friends, you're forgiving. Your neighbors, you're forgiving. Your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, sisters. Mothers and fathers, both there to forgive anyway. But you forgive. People will start apologizing, you forgive them. But have you actually forgiven yourself? Why I say this is because it's very important, is that when you embark on the spiritual path, sometimes what happens is that you have committed such atrocities that only you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know. I haven't done this, I haven't done that, whatever responsibility given, I haven't done it. Okay, I'm doing this instead. So only you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know what you've not done or not done. But what happens is that sometimes that regret, sometimes we pinpoint a certain incident or certain act that we think, this was the cause of my downfall. This act was the cause of my downfall. This thing was the cause of my downfall. And you regret it. And you never forgive yourself for it. You can forgive everybody else, but you don't forgive yourself. Strange matter. Forgive the nafs. Okay, it's done. Move on. There is nothing that cannot be replaced. Nothing that cannot be replaced, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot be replaced. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can replace everything and anything. Those great heights of spirituality that you once were, doesn't mean you can't attain that. Knowledge, hifz, ilm, obedience, taqwa, perseverance, all those things you can still get. Doesn't mean it's gone. You can still get if you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, i.e. tawbah, and forgive yourself. You can turn back to those levels of heights again. It's just the debater, the enemy, they're just trying to make you think, nah, you can't. That's what it is. That debater is quite powerful sometimes. The enemy can actually make you think they're weak. That's what happens. And then the number 3, the third thing, and there is no opponent stronger than the whims and the desires. When your whims comes, just if you probably think what is whims, khiyalat and thoughts of desires. So when you really want something, for example, if you want that kebab, you go out, no matter how far it is. If you're hungry, you go and get that kebab. If you want Dixie's burgers, I don't know how good they are these days. Anyway, you will go out and get the burger. If you want a car, a person, if he wants the Mercedes or a BMW, a type of car that he wants, he'll work, he'll persevere to get that car. So the whims are really is their biggest opponent. Why I say this is that this is now, if you understand this, then you can understand the solution to everything as well. Is that if your biggest opponent is the person that you face is, or the thing that you face is the whims, what are whims? It's all in the mind. Win over the mind and you win over everything. Conquer the mind, you conquered your enemy, which is the devil. Conquer the mind, you conquered the debater, which is the nafs. And what they're saying here is that your strongest opponent is these arrows of desires, whims and thoughts that's coming. And that's all it is, and that's why you have to perceive it. Is that all you got to do is see these thoughts, these desires, these inclinations which are coming. All you have to do is just fight it. And you know, it's not a physical fight. It's not, you can see, oh look, big boulders coming here now. Oh no, we have to be Superman. No, it's all in the mind. Fight it in the mind. That's why you need to be on the, when you go on the second stage, this is where you dealt with the very first stage of the mind. It's dealt with this as such. Any unlawful thoughts of sins, you eradicate. And why, again, we reiterate the course of purification is very important for people to actually go through, is that it deals with all of this one by one, stage by stage, where all of these actually are dealt with one by one. So here the solution has been given is that win over your opponent, which is the whims and desires and thoughts. Win over that, you conquer the debate and you conquer your enemy. Lose that and you lost. And that's why what we're doing is a lot of the times, remember this, thought of sin comes first. And if you go back and you think, no, I do it instantly. Some people say, what thought? I'm already sinning. What would you mean? Now you need to slowly slow everything down, slow the process down when you're analyzing. What happens first? What really happens is that the thought comes first. The thought comes, oh, there's a movie that's come out. Oh, have you heard this? It may not be you who's put that thought in. It could be a friend. It could be a brother. It could be a sister. It could be a colleague. It could be anyone who puts that thought. Put it into your head and that's it. Now it's playing with you. That's the battle. That's the opponent now. So he alayhi rahmah is saying is that it can be a strong opponent if you don't desist. But sometimes what happens is that we think, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. And that's what they're sinning. Is what happens is that, you know, as you see in the mind diagram, is because the thoughts and khayalats are so strong, you give in and say, okay, just the body, the mind just gives the order that just do it. Just commit that sin. But really, if we can win the battle when it's just a spark, when it's just a thought, at the beginning stage when it comes and attacks you, you crush it then, you've succeeded. It doesn't go to the next phase. And that is what the reality is. As simple as this, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know already today. Everything that I've said you already know. There's nothing new, there's nothing different. You already know this. But what happens? We need to drill ourselves, remind ourselves, like soldiers. And soldiers, what we are, we're in the field of war with the enemy, which is the devil and the nafs. And we need reminding one another of the purpose, of the tactics that shaitan and nafs will deploy to overwhelm us. That is what we have to do. There is nothing that repels the descent of divine help. You want help? Allah SWT help me. Allah SWT save me. I'm in need of you. You want help? There is nothing which actually repels it. It shuns it away. Nothing which repels it like that of an arrogant person with pride inside him. To make you understand, here Rahmah said is that the rain only settles on shallow lands, not on mountain peaks. Have you not seen when the rain, what happens? Look, simple thing, rain, there's a mountain, there's a shallow land. Rain comes, does it ever settle on the mountain? No, it goes down all the way to land which is flat and lower. So what I want you to do today is what somehow Mashash used to say is that what it is that water never goes upwards, does it? Does water ever go upwards? It goes downwards. Whenever you meet somebody, think that you're lowly. Think that you're bad. And what happens is that like here, the help and mercy, when it falls, it'll fall from that person, it'll fall to you automatically by meeting that brother. If you want help, if you want the mercy to come upon you, if you want Allah's fazl to fall upon you, what you do is that whenever you meet somebody, whoever it is, you're lowly. Humble yourself and become lowly, become the shallow ground, so that the mercy of Allah will flow on you. Help us will flow on you and settle in you. Similarly, mercy falls from hearts of the arrogant and descend on the hearts of the humble. That's another analogy. Is that the arrogant person, the haughty and mighty, he's like the mountain. What happens? The mercy will fall from him and onto you if you're humble. So whenever you go today, whenever you are, four things remember. One is that know that Iman is like a light, and that light will get blocked off every time you do sin. It's getting blocked. And if you're in darkness, what will happen? This is the reason why the states that you're going through, the emotion that you're going through is the effect of those sin. Number two is that you are always arguing, debating with the nafs. The nafs is always debating with you, and you're also debating as well. But it's only that he will always try to debate with you, so that he or she will debate with you, so that you stop from refraining from or delaying you from doing tawbah, from actually doing and rectifying your amending the wrongs, fulfilling the rights. It's always making you lazy towards do something. It's going to try to delay you. Your enemy is the devil, not the people. Your opponent, real opponent, the strong opponent is the whims and desires. If you can win over the desire, you win over your enemy, you win over your nafs. And then what happens? You are in light and not in darkness. So you've removed the boulder or the clips of darkness which is darkening your iman of faith, so that the faith can flourish and revitalize the good deeds and strengthen you, so you can behold and witness the qurb and proximity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, behold His beauty in this life as well as the akhirah. Jazakumullah khairan jazaa. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Now, inshallah, if you have any question, you may ask. Otherwise, inshallah, we'll go on to performing the Muraqba Miraj. So, does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, we'll go straight to any questions? Okay, inshallah. I think maybe these days we kept it short, but I don't know if this talk was a bit long or lengthy. Maybe we're supposed to keep it shorter. Allah forgive me if I've gone over the time. But inshallah, we'll do the Muraqaba. If one of your brothers can come and just do, for those is there anybody who's new to this? Okay, so everybody is aware, so you know what to do then, inshallah. There's no need. So obviously you start first to rectify your intention, and then what you'll do is that you will recite the azkars for protection. After reciting the azkar, which is one time Surah Fatiha, Ayatul Kursi once, and the 3 kuls, then you blow on yourself. After that, then what you'll do is that you'll get in the 3 states of heart and mind, of humbleness, of thankfulness, and of actually gratitude, and so on. And then you'll actually go and do the beginning amals of one time Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, 3 times Astaghfar, 3 times Durood, and 3 times La Hawla Quwwata Illa Billah. And then you do the preparation amals, and then the breathing of the latayas from the red to all the way to the white. And then you'll transfer After transferring, what you'll do is that go to find our teacher, our master Shaykh Ahmad Abbaq, seek forgiveness from them, ask for their company and be in the company, and really whatever they decide to take, they want you to take you to. If they take you to fairs, go and give salam to Sayyidina Abdul Jabbar. Then after that, whichever mashayikh your heart goes, or they decide to take you to, go there. If you're in Sayyidina Al-Qadir Jalani or Sayyidina Ali Radhiyallahu Anhu, Sayyidina Imam Hussein, or any of the personality in Pakistan, or anybody, or the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, or whatever, whoever Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and the mashayikh wants to take you to, they'll take you to. Go there, and then always remember this: is that seeing is nice, is very good. Looking at them is also brilliant and beautiful. But the most beneficial thing is actually to ask those questions which will benefit you in this life as well as akhirah. So if you're struggling, ask. If there's something which is confusing you, ask. If there's something that you want advice on, ask. This is the time you should do, is especially on the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, this is the beauty of what we say, is that a lot of the times you're queuing and waiting on a Monday, oh, I can't see them, or what is it? This is the beauty. We've given you one access that in the spiritual world you can meet and you can ask. So if there's something which is bothering you, which is hindering you, ask for guidance, how we can achieve the proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how we can actually fight our nafs and shaitan, how we can come close to our mashayikh, especially our master Sayyidina Ahmad Abbaq, and so on and so on, how we can establish love and connection with them, how we can be steadfast upon the deen, and so on. And many times these answers have been given, but you can ask to refresh, to remind, to reinvigorate your iman and faith and your resolve. And that is important. Resolve is very important, that when you have the himmah and the resolve there, then you're able to actually fight on all four fronts, as they say. So we're trying to attain the cup. There are many cups to be won. There are many prizes to be won. Don't just settle for the lowest, achieve and go for higher things as well. So without further ado, inshallah, make the rectify intention and then start reciting the azkars for protection. Once you recite it, then go in the three states of humbleness, of gratitude and reliance. Then start with the beginning of our mouths. One time, Bismillah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم يا ربي بجاه سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اجمع بيننا وبين سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله في الدنيا قبل الآخرة. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Inshallah, when you're ready, then you can start preparing the latais. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك. Slowly start to actually bring yourself back wherever you are. Take your last whatever nasihat has been given. Slowly bring yourself back towards to your body, and then try to bring your consciousness back. You may open your eyes. If there's anything anybody like to relate, then you may do so. Does anybody have any difficulties, any problems, any issues? Were they able to actually transfer? Shouldn't be having any problems with this now. So, is there anything that you like to ask? If not, then that's fine as well. That's fine, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.